Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Better Than Food Book Reviews. Today is Bruges-La-Morte by the Belgian author Georges Rodenbach, published in 1892 and translated by Will Stone. Beautiful cover on that one, huh? This was a kind gift from S. Cook. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Disclaimer: I receive free books for review from this book's publisher, Wakefield Press. Bruges-La-Morte is a melancholy fantastical tale from the Belgian symbolist Georges Rodenbach. It's a good read for the seasonal transition. A good book for the death of summer. It's been pouring rain over here, so the atmosphere fit quite well. We're about to hit hurricane season. Joy. Symbolism was a French and Belgian late 19th century art movement, inspired, in part, by Charles Baudelaire with his poetry collection Le Fleur de Mal, The Flowers of Evil, as well as his French translations of Edgar Allan Poe, which I would love to read in French. I wish my French was that good. It sounds amazing. The symbolists sought to capture elusive and profound truths, to represent the ideal, right? Using things like dreams, metaphor, religious iconography, mythology, and mysticism. It was a movement that occurred both in literature and the visual arts. Symbolism shared origins with the decadent movement, and there was a lot of overlap. Rodenbach was a friend of J.K. Huysmans, who wrote the greatest decadent novel of all time, Au Rebours, Against Nature, one of my personal favorites. Both movements shared an interest in the occult. I knew the decadents were interested in the occult, but the video linked in the description below, entitled The Occult Origins of Symbolism by the channel Inspiragio, taught me about the symbolists' interest in the occult. It's a good video. I suggest you watch it. According to the blurb on the back of this edition, Bruges-La-Morte inspired the source material for Hitchcock's Vertigo, which was a book called D'entre les morts by Boileau-Narcejac, and whose English title is The Living and the Dead. I haven't read it, but I should. I love Vertigo. That's one of my favorite films. I distinctly remember the first time I saw that when I was a kid. That made an impact. That dream scene was really something. Bruges-La-Morte is a short, dark tale about a melancholy widower named Hugues, who lives in Bruges. He's in perpetual mourning for his deceased wife, whom he loved very much. One day, while out on one of his walks, he suddenly sees a young woman who bears a striking resemblance to his wife. Striking. It's her, right? You've seen Vertigo, you know where this goes. This triggers an obsession within him, a desire to resurrect the woman he lost, right? An innovative thing about this book is its inclusion of old black and white photographs of Bruges, a technique that inspired future books such as Naja by the surrealist André Breton, as a blurb on the back of this edition informs us. There's a dreamlike haze to the book, much like Vertigo, but with a much heavier, dark, gothic European atmosphere, like walking through a city-sized cemetery. There are scenes directly reminiscent of the film, with the dyed hair and Hugues requesting that Jane, the woman, try on his dead wife's clothes. You can see it, right? You can spot the thread of inspiration. Both Hugues and Scotty in Vertigo have that spellbound quality, living a dream bound to death. Bruges, the city, permeates the novel, and is as much a character as the protagonist. The name Hugues and Bruges look similar on the page. Totally intentional, I'm sure. The city is engulfing him, right? Reading the book is like a morbid European vacation. If you need some time away and enjoy exploring cemeteries, look no further. It's a book, but with the photographs adding an aesthetic quality to the experience, it's edging towards a film. It's some strange Twilight medium, as if it were not quite either book or film in entirety. It has the quality of a travel journal, so that while you're reading this atmospheric mystery, you have the feeling that you're actually journeying through the city itself. There's a line about Hugues in the book, which is the following: his grief had become a religion. That's a real possibility. The book tells us a dark truth. Grief, mourning, is an unbelievably powerful experience, but it can transform into something obsessive, addictive, pathological. You can become haunted, right? The death of a spouse can ruin a person for the rest of their life. Every day they'll wake up to a profound absence, and no other will match the ideal of the deceased. Everyone falls short of the impossible standard. By no means is this a rule, it's just a possibility. Hugues lives in a private universe of bereavement, with his dead wife at the center, the dark sun around which all things revolve. It's very interesting that we are never told the name of Hugues' wife. She's nameless. An ideal. A symbol. Symbolism, right? She seems to be the symbol for pure, true love. As opposed to Jane, who's a hussy. Jane, his dead wife's doppelganger, is an actress, and this is significant. For Hugues, she's acting the role of his dead wife. It's very eerie. There's actually stuff in here that's better than Vertigo. Vertigo has great things too, but this has its own thing, Rodenbach juxtaposes Catholic worship and Hugues' worship of this woman, both the dead and living versions, throughout the book. It's interesting because you can see symbolism's pull towards and aversion to Catholicism manifested in the character of Hugues. With this book, Rodenbach has written a beautiful letter to Bruges. It's not quite a love letter, but in a way it is. It's the story of a man haunted by his dead wife, yes, but that dead wife has undergone a sort of metamorphosis and transformed into an entire city. She's everywhere and everything. True love's necropolis. I'll read you a part from the book that describes this. The city, too, once beautiful and beloved, seemed an incarnation of his sense of loss. Bruges was his dead wife, and his dead wife was Bruges. Both were united in a single destiny. This was Bruges-La-Morte, she herself entombed in her stone quays, the cold arteries of her canals, where the great pulse of the ocean had ceased to beat. There's a beautiful picture of the canals there. Bruges is his wife's cadaver, and Hugues lives inside of her. He lives inside her dead body in the form of a dead city, as he puts it. He has no desire to leave, ever. It's tragic, beautiful, and deeply morbid. The old photographs in the book are ghost-like apparitions, echoing the ghost of Hugues' wife that haunts him. Saturated with the memories of a bygone era, they're like the artifacts, the objects left behind by the wife, which, for Hugues, are imbued with her memory. Memories are a curious thing. That's what literature is. Memory. Conceptual extractions of the past. Books are ghosts. They can, indeed, haunt you. Same with old photographs. They can make you mourn for a person or place you never knew but desperately need to. That is their majestic, tragic power. But there's a sinister quality to this reduction of a person into objects. It evokes the objectification of us all when we die. Reduced not to a being but a thing. A corpse. A collection of bones, right? Camille Paglia identifies this theme of objectification within decadent literature in her book Sexual Personae. Life reduced to dead objects, right? She points to Huysmans' Against Nature as an example. Again, Huysmans and Rodenbach were friends, so this is the thing. Objectification thing. Yeah. This is the state of Hugues' dead wife, who is reduced to a series of things. Again, we're never told her name. She's an idea, a conceptual ideal, now found only within the objects that she possessed. Like a braid of her hair that Hugues treats as a holy relic, this relic becomes a crucial plot device. Hugues worships this ideal, his dead wife, religiously. She's infallible, pure. But interestingly, the worship of the new woman, Jane, also becomes a religious activity. As Rodenbach writes, an absolution, forgiveness, right? But one finds oneself asking, forgiveness for what? Why does Hugues need to feel forgiven? Why does he need absolution? Perhaps he feels guilty for not being able to protect his wife. Seems reasonable. But then by the end, you realize we're never told exactly how his wife died. Hugues says she got an illness. He really loves her braid of hair. All I'm saying is there's a certain type of person who likes to take souvenirs. You know what I mean? Could just be a romantic tradition. Might be something else. It's ambiguous, like all great art. For me, the strongest part of the book is actually not the plot regarding the wife and her replacement, compelling as it is. It's Hugues' relationship with the city of Bruges, his identification with its morbid atmosphere. I haven't read a book that captures that strange influence a city has on a character so well. Death is transforming his life into something else, a living funeral with the bells and churches. He's crossing over, right? Bruges is the halfway space between life and death. The book tells us that the ideal is only briefly accessible, and the projection of it onto something unworthy can lead to obsession and disappointment. In a dark way, the book also tells us that some things are indeed sacred, and to violate them has profound consequences. But is that true? Is this the divine sacredness of love or God? Or is it the warped psychological system of a sick man? That's the question. Better than food. 3.5 out of 5 coffees. I recommend it. So what did I dislike? It gets pretty melodramatic. The suffering, right? Initially, it's moving. Eventually, it's monotonous. It starts to kind of blend into one color, like in the book. Gray. So who should read it? If you enjoy Baudelaire, Poe, and Huysmans, check this out. Thanks a bunch for stopping by and watching. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so via Patreon. Link below. The tiers start at $5 per video. I make about 3 to 4 videos a month on average. Please set a monthly limit if you're on a budget. However, if you're in one of the tiers with the video calls where we can chat one-on-one about books, please allow for at least 3 charges a month. Thank you. You can find the patron benefits listed below. After this review, I'll be discontinuing the book and coffee jar. I'd like to give something that all patrons can enjoy. So I'm replacing it with a monthly Patreon AMA video. More details on that will be sent out to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much to everyone for your support. So last time, here we go. Thank you very much to all my patrons for helping me keep this project going. It truly means a lot. Couldn't do it without you. And best of luck. Okay, here we go. Patrick C. Thank you very much, Patrick. Really appreciate it. You're going to receive Bruges-La-Morte by Georges Rodenbach, plus a bag of coffee, roasted by yours truly, and I hope you love both. Cheers. Please subscribe if you have not already, and hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and always remember, die reading. Alright, thanks for watching. Good to see you. Talk to you soon. Ciao.